Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to another installment of what is probably going to be the world's quietest train wreck. Now, today we're going to the old DCR, everyone's favorite noob trap here. As per usual, it's going to be a little bit on the quieter end due to the just minefield of babies here. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and be a little bit on the quieter side. Now, as far as the strategy on this one, all of the AIs throughout the series have always been manipulatable to some degree. Yes, I know. I apologize for the unfortunate mouse cursor there for a moment. Such things will happen. Now, as you may know, at the end of this hallway, there's a whole lot of nothing. Essentially, this is a nice little feature that they put in where absolutely nothing bad ever happens in this particular area. Not really a whole lot to worry about there. So, once we get to the very end, there's just this nice little coffee shop. You can usually get yourself a pretty good mocha there. I would recommend it. Probably give it a pretty good Yelp review and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, definitely nothing nefarious down here at all. Now, this snipey douchebag is a little bit annoying. If you're coming down the hallway, you can sometimes get a snipe off on him, but he can be a little bit annoying because he'll suddenly decide to change his mind, change directions, all that sort of thing. Now, what we're going to do here,
What took you so long?
we're going to go ahead and pop a few shots off here. Now, before you're wondering, hey, why didn't you just do that with one of your heavier rockets? It's basically just volume of fire that ends up getting him there. Even though he always charges, his actual speed and elevation will have a tendency to vary in that particular spot. So what we're going to do here is actually just, the idea there was mostly just to do a little bit of damage to his legs and all that sort of thing. He's going to waste a few shots, basically just going to open the door and close it a few times. The idea is just to make him burn through ammo a little bit. But for now, I'd rather just have this fight out of the way, because I pretty much have the equipment that I want for the entire run. Okay, almost got him with that follow-up, which would have probably broken his legs, hopefully. He's taken a good number of shots to them. I'm assuming it's probably just going to tip over straight from caution to broken with this, since his movement is changing a little bit. Okay, didn't get a warning on that one. Yeah, he can take quite a lot of punishment, unfortunately. There we are. Nope, there you go, you got me. So what's his condition here? Looks like he's still perfectly intact, so we're going to give that another go. And we're gonna go a little bit more aggressive this time. You know what I'm trying to say here. Yes, shut up, you douchebag. So, as you can see, this is possible. It's mostly just a matter of learning his pattern at this point. It's nothing too terribly unwinnable. I mean, this guy is the very first start of this, after all. And this is actually the reason that I decided to start off with this route, and why I ultimately just decided on, fighting every single thing in the AI arena being the goal, because then this guy has to be beaten twice under different circumstances. Oh man, that little extra drop-off is always annoying. Basically like where your bar ends up draining a little more than you thought it did. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty safe to call this one here. Get a little bit more practice in with these last 8 shots. But yeah, he's definitely not unbeatable by any means. I just really wish rockets didn't suck so hard in this one. This is just really, really disappointing. Alright. So you do whatever you gotta do, bud. I mean, I'm just standing right here. You can just fire. Anytime now. There we go. So tell me, what is your condition here? Yeah, all of that. He was definitely under half health, but it wasn't enough to break his legs, unfortunately, because these things don't part break worth a crap, which you'd really think they would, given that it's kind of explicitly shown in the intro, like, oh yeah, look, they completely blew this guy's friggin' weapon off. Yeah, no. No. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. These assaults, I'm gonna replace them with triples. Gonna go over here, replace these with... let's replace them with the corals. And, actually, yeah, these triples, why don't we have you be smalls instead? So there we go. we'll go ahead for this kind of setup. Let's continue this on. So yeah, he's got a little slight variation that you may be noticing here on his turn, where he pauses a little bit midair. So let's see if we nail him with enough napalms consecutively, if it might be enough to shut him down. Because if he can be knocked into charging, that would basically be it. So there we go, 3 heavy napalms in a row, and a regular napalm shortly after. Like, anyone else would be completely dead from this. You know, just goes to show you, maybe this guy is a cheating scumbag. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not taking very many shots, currently the plan, since he's gone through a whole bunch of damage here, is if he is almost out of shots, and you know what? Let me wait till I have him right in picture here. Okay. Drop that cannon, please. Son of a dickery. Because I'm pretty sure that was his last shot. Okay, well, bummer. Let's try that again. Alright. 2. So,
My orders are to kill you.
felt like maybe one of those hit. I'm gonna let my heat go down a little bit. So sometimes he will go for that door, and like I was showing last time, you can drain him pretty well, simply because that heat and the Shade and Griffin will do a pretty good job of roasting your rectum. But, oh, dang it. These freaking hard landings, though. Still getting used to them with these legs. So they were a bit more forgiving in Sideline with the hard landings on your heavy equipment. So getting used to the rocket landings, as you may be able to tell. All right. Vaguely got his pattern. I got him on. Got his rear here. Okay, keep doing that. Interestingly, sometimes if you can keep him in the air long enough, his AI will actually completely break, and he will go into charging. I've done that before, but that's kind of a rare glitch more than an actual abusable feature. So, such is life. Don't think I've hit friggin' anything with these lefty rockets, to the point that I'm actually considering going back to the napalms there. It's mostly just weight that I'm keeping the basics on here. Even though they don't really do much to him, it still would be a guaranteed, you know, a little bit of damage, might be a little bit of extra pressure. Maybe keep him on the ground a little bit more, it's hard to say for sure. But, oh well. Either way, looks like we got 139 rockets left to potentially do something to this guy. So he might just glance off most of them, who the hell knows. It's amazing that they even bothered to make so many variants of these completely worthwhile things. And yeah, so there's that. Obviously, they were far better in previous installments. And that absurdly tiny hitbox, because, you know, they need to have a giant projectile, but the actual friggin' hit area of the thing is much smaller than it actually shows. Just so, you know, give somebody a fair amount of space to dodge the thing, but as if you're actually trying to hit somebody with it, it's a little bit more annoying. But that's life, I guess. You know, you wouldn't you want somebody to actually have useful rockets now, would you? Now, okay.
You're not half bad.
Thank you. That took a few tries, but hey. Now, I think I have his left arm damaged as well. There we are. He threw away his Griffin. Go ahead and get some fresh rockets going. So fresh. Get a little bit of better aim going on these as well. Have to lower the aim angle a little bit. All right. So yeah, this is why I was saying the mid rockets are probably the best. Okay, went for a bit of a faster approach, so I didn't want to waste my shot. Almost had one there. So he changes his speed, by the way. If you're wondering what it is that makes him so annoying to hit, he actually alternates his speed every now and then, which is why you can see sometimes he's just directly boosting forward, sometimes he's going for a little bit of a different angle. Like right there, I shouldn't have fired because he was basically going for a faster boost. So, alright. Yes, you've got Perryton. I know, it sucks, it's very annoying. Shouldn't have done it there either because he was facing forward. But it's okay. There we are. Alright. Pew 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 pew. And another one on you. Yes. 50% is not great. I thought he was going to go for a bit of a faster approach there, but he decided not to. This is dang near hypnotic. Keep being tempted to just run out and try to smack him a good one from far away, but right now this is doing a pretty good job of keeping me not getting hit. Shouldn't have fired on that last one. Jeez. Slight variable speed is annoying. If I had just like a very minor amount of better turn speed, that'd be ideal here. I think he might be out of his shade. About friggin' time for that.
I'm not done yet.
Dude, you better be. You cheating dirtbag. Like, honestly, how much does it take to kill you, you stubborn bastard? You'd think, with how many rockets are hitting him right in the right arm here, that thing would get busted off. But no, like a one shot from his laser cannon enough to rip off a limb. Friggin' billion shots from these heavy, you know, the rockets that you'd think would have a lot more punch to them. No problem. It's fine. Although I guess there's almost no heat coding, is something we've kind of established for late 3rd gen. I think I've ruined the loop here a little bit, possibly. Well, let's go for those inside smalls. Thankfully these things, all the small rockets are a little bit easier to hit with. They actually fly a tad bit faster. I don't know if they actually fly a tad bit faster or really what it is with them, but they're just seemingly easier to hit with. Like the little micro adjustments that you need to make in order to hit stuff just seem easier with them, for whatever friggin' reason. Get bent, get bent, get bent. I think it's just the faster fire rate that really helps. Alright, I thought he was on the other side there. Alright, I haven't heard any weapon drop sounds from him, so he's still got his shade, he's still got his LX. One moment. Okay, hopefully crisis averted there, actually. Come on. Suck it! It's okay, kiddo. It's okay. We're all good. Okay. Alright, well, there you go. There's DCR. Screw bolt. And, alright, you have a good day. I think these are probably going to be going one mission per part. I forgot to pick up the optional, well, not optional, but hidden part. Again, I don't think I really need it, so whatever, we'll get to it. Speed this up a little bit. Oh man, check me out. I don't have nearly the amount of energy needed to actually fly over that. I'm just going to pretend to be all dramatic and sit here while I recover because I was charging from flying about 10 feet in this giant thing. so alrighty then. Picked up those extensions. Interestingly, I should have already had those, but I guess I'm just kind of picking up free parts. Any darn ways, whatever. Result bodes well for Alliance. So I think we'll stick with this build. Just in general, it seems like the most practical. Just because of sheer ammo count and firepower involved, it's just really slow to start off. So, at any rate, let's turn up the resolution real quick here. Get that crap up to looking all pretty like. Oh yes. Look at that high resolution sexiness. So I'll try to keep it at this resolution, except for maps that specifically have that problem I was mentioning earlier. In case you're wondering, no, that isn't all of them, not by a long shot. That's why the last part was perfectly fine. It's just some of them that use a particular skybox and some certain effects and some certain draw distance. So either way, I'll see you next time. Thank you for taking a look, and take care.